First, live, local. The 5 o'clock news starts now on Fox 12 Oregon.
This is the worst I've seen.
If we ask you to evacuate, please do evacuate. No firefight is worth your life.
It's going to impact Oregon. It's going to impact the world.
One brave farmer got on his tractor and tried to stop the fire to save his farm, save his community, save the rest of his neighbors.
The deadly wildfire burning near the Dalles is now being given the highest priority in the country. Right now, evacuations are in effect and some major roads are closed.
While we're still waiting to find out exactly how the fire started, tonight we are learning more about the man who died. The Wasco County Sheriff's Office says he was trying to protect his neighbor's land. With strong winds and dry conditions, firefighters have a tough road ahead tonight. Good evening. Welcome to the 5 o'clock news. I'm Pete Ferryman.
And I'm Elizabeth Dinn.
Hundreds of homes have been evacuated because of the substation fire. The good news is that no homes were lost overnight. The bad news, the strong winds. Those in the red shaded areas are under a level 3 evacuation notice, which means get out now.
We are seeing some incredible yet heartbreaking images from Air 12 today. Right now, flames are threatening homes and livelihoods. A tractor operator worked to clear wheat near the fire line. We saw flames come close to power lines, and in that area, the hills are just charred.
In the past hour, we have received an update on the conditions out there.
And we do have team coverage of this fire for you tonight. Let's go right to Bonnie Silkman, who's in the town of Morrow and has been in the fire area all day. Bonnie?
Well, Liz, crews now calling the substation fire the top priority wildfire in the entire country right now. Of course, the big question remains, how did this deadly and incredibly destructive fire start? Well, Wasco County deputies are telling us the fire is suspicious. Other than that, they are not sharing any information. Of course, the investigation ongoing. Deputies saying they are working around the clock to figure this one out. Take a look at this new Air 12 video from today, just showing you what we're dealing with out here near the Dalles, showing the flames and the smoke just towering, taking over those wheat fields and taking over the skyline. We are seeing growth on both the north and south ends of this blaze today. Because of that wind, it is just refusing to quit, blowing up to 40 miles an hour. The fire still burning at 50,000 acres. That's the same amount as last night. However, because of poor visibility, that estimate is difficult to give today. Now, of course, it's not just the firefighters out there. As we've told you, so many farmers are protecting property that's not even theirs. And heartbreaking news, those flames now claiming one man's life. Deputies saying 64-year-old John Ruby died while cutting a line on his neighbor's property. Tonight, I spoke with his extended family. Cynthia says she is still in total shock. She also lost property and crops in this fire. She says John is a hero, a true farmer, someone she will always be proud of.
Every single farmer in this community would do the exact same thing, and he will always be remembered for his heroic actions. They are incredibly dedicated. They work so hard. I'm just so very proud of them. Sorry.
Truly a difficult day out here for everyone. Now today, as we drove through the Dalles, we saw a lot of devastation, twisted rubble and metal, what was left of many outbuildings, smoldering fences. The people who live on this property you're looking at say their home caught fire, but crews quickly put out the flames. They did lose their outbuildings though. At one point also, while driving around today speaking with farmers, we were turned around because of crews putting out hot spots. So still, of course, a lot of uncertainty out here. If you take a live look back out here at the Incident Command Post in Morrow, you can see all of the different fire trucks. More than 73 fire agencies from all across the state are here, and more are on their way. I'm told at least 60 people are coming in, so we're looking at local support from the county, state support all across the state of Oregon and Washington, and now regional support, so even more crews coming in. So we're looking at nearly 300 firefighters out attacking this blaze from the air and from the ground. Right now, you know, it's incredibly dusty, again, windy. So folks out here just praying for that wind to stop and praying for the rain to come. We'll, of course, keep you updated on the very latest as soon as we hear more. For now, reporting live in Morrow, Bonnie Silkman, Fox 12 Oregon.
All right, Bonnie, thanks. And we just heard from the Wasco County Sheriff in the last hour in a news conference. He says investigators from several agencies are working around the clock to figure out how this fire started. A tip line was just set up too. So if you know something that could help, we've got that number on your screen. You'll want to jot it down. Be sure to call 1-800-452-7888.
Right now, there are several evacuations in place. Many are scrambling to leave, fearful of what they might return to.
And Fox 12's Nora Hart is here in studio with us live now with the latest on these evacuation notices, Nora.
Well, it has been a long day for fire crews, as you guys saw there, but also for those living near the fire. About 900 homes have been put under a level 2 or level 3 evacuation, which means leave now or get ready to do so. One man we spoke with, Larry Hochter, left his home in Morrow last night and returned to find it still standing this morning, which obviously that's a huge relief for him. But he knows he's not in the clear just yet and is ready to leave at a moment's notice if he has to do so.
If they want us out of here, we'll get out of here. It's kind of unnerving, and you know, I still feel that they'll take care of my house and stuff, and there's enough buffer between me and where I think the fire is going to come from.
Also important to note, a Red Cross shelter is open at the Dalles Middle School right now. There's also a place for pets to go at the Home at Last Humane Society. Meantime, FEMA has authorized federal funds to help pay for the firefight. We also want to show you a look at the evacuation map. I know it's kind of small here, but this is a changing situation, so you want to check back in for the latest updates. We do have that posted at kptv.com if you want to take a closer look at this map. Live in studio, Nora Hart, Fox 12 Oregon.
Thanks, Nora. Governor Kate Brown says she has directed members of her team to help Wasco County officials investigate what started the substation fire. She joined other state officials at this morning's news conference. We learned the Oregon National Guard will deploy 2 Chinook helicopters that can drop water, and that'll happen by this weekend. According to the Department of Forestry, more than 500 firefighters have already been called in to help, and the state already reached out to Washington and California authorities if more resources will be needed. Governor Brown says this year's fire season started about a month earlier than last year, and the substation fire will likely have devastating impacts on one of the state's top exports, wheat.
This is definitely our wheat basket, and it's going to impact Oregon, it's going to impact the world, and we are really working to make sure that we provide resources available as we move into recovery there. I want to ask Oregonians around the state to be aware, be safe, and be vigilant out there. If you see any fire starts, please immediately report to local authorities.
Officials say the state is continuing to monitor air quality, too.
All right, Fox 12 meteorologist Brian McMillan joins us now, and obviously the wind, once again, a huge factor.
You saw Brenna out there, or I'm sorry, Bonnie out there, and her hair was blowing in the wind.
Right.
You could tell that it was really blowing, and it has been all afternoon here and into the early evening. We have 3 levels of evacuation. Level 3 is the most serious. That's in red right there. Level 2 evacuation, that's the city of Wasco, Rutledge, and Kent. And then a level 1 evacuation there for Rufus and Klondike. But Morrow, Emerson, and Grass Valley all under a level 3 evacuation, which means you need to leave right now. Here's what we're looking at as far as winds. Gusting to around 15 to 25 miles an hour right now. That's better than it was a little bit earlier on today. We saw gusts around 35 miles an hour earlier on. And when you get gusts that strong, that can really push the fire fast. And that's why fire crews have been really keeping a close eye on those winds. What I expect to happen as we head through the day tomorrow is those winds to be not quite as strong. We'll talk about that coming up.
All right, Brian, thank you. An investigation, meanwhile, is underway in Jackson County after the body of a man was found in an area burned by Tuesday's Penninger fire. Detectives have not decided if the man died before or during the fire yet, but officials spotted the body by helicopter this morning while surveying the area next to Bear Creek. Officials say that's near a suspected homeless camp. So far, no name has been released.
We truly are in the midst of wildfire season, and while we are all concerned about the substation fire, it's not the only one. There are many other fires that have also popped up across the region. Fox 12's Marja Martinez is here now to give us a look at them. Marja?
Well, Liz, Pete, the substation fire is up here near the Oregon-Washington border. But if you look beyond that to the south, you can see there are many more, like the Silver Creek fire burning near Silver Falls. Good news there. Crews say they are in the mop stage as most of the dangerous trees are being removed today. 115 personnel are there on the scene, but some will start heading home tonight. It's still at about 27 acres, and it did cause the evacuation of a nearby YMCA camp. Moving south, this is where the second largest fire is burning in the state near Bend. That's the cemetery fire. It's burned about 1,500 acres, and while much bigger than the one near Silver Falls, tonight there are no evacuations and no homes have been destroyed. So some good news there as you see those firefighters getting some work done. Continuing south, there are a few we are watching near the southern Oregon out toward the California border just to the south of Medford. Now this is the Hendricks fire. It was sparked by lightning on Sunday. That Hendricks fire is really concerning, especially because 35 homes have been evacuated. You can see the smoke there billowing into the air. This is a photo taken by the U.S. Forest Service. It's grown to about 700 acres and is only about 5% contained tonight. And as meteorologist Brian McMillan did mention, the conditions around the state are really hot and dry. That means a rough summer ahead for our firefighters. Live in studio, Marja Martinez, Fox 12 Oregon.
Thanks. And you touched on that warm weather. You know, it is still warm out there despite a dip in temperatures from earlier this week. Right now, a live look out of downtown Portland and from the coast.
The heat has forced Oregon Parks and Recreation Department to say no more campfires in state parks, and that's some unwelcome news for a lot of families who've been looking forward to summer camping all year. Fox 12's Kelsey Watts joins us now from Shampooey State Park.
Well, Pete, signs went up throughout the campground here, just like this one this morning around 10 o'clock. The Oregon Parks and Rec Department made this call after the governor declared a fire emergency. And there were a few campfires going this morning when park rangers had to tell families to put them out.
And it's always tough because people associate, camping as a campfire and do those s'mores. And it is tough to have to tell them they've got to put it out.
There are 52 state parks with nearly 6,000 campsites in Oregon, so this affects a lot of people. Here at Shampooey, the campgrounds are full. There are nearly 90 sites packed with people. There's a family reunion going on and weddings this weekend, but now those fire pits have to stay empty. Wood or charcoal fires are banned, but propane stoves and anything that can be turned off with a valve, those are still okay. With so many resources focused on the substation fire and others in our area, it is just too risky to have any open fires that could get out of control.
Just kind of a bummer because, you get marshmallows, and for kids, the whole fun of it is the campfire, and we are making our meals on the fire. So, but at the same time, we understand. I mean, there's miles of land burning, and we don't want that here close to our home.
Now, this ban will be in effect for at least a week. At that point, Oregon Parks and Rec will reevaluate conditions in partnership with Oregon Department of Forestry officials and other state leaders. Live tonight at Shampooey State Park, Kelsey Watts, Fox 12 Oregon.
Thanks, Kelsey. Before you head out for your summer plans, make sure to take a quick look at the Fox 12 weather app. You can check the weather, flight statuses, and much more with this. It's also free to download.
The 5 o'clock news is just getting started.
A son accused of a heartbreaking crime, killing his father with the handle of a shovel. What happened today when he faced a judge for the first time?
A fun vacation day in Hawaii takes a frightening turn.
I'm just happy I'm alive.
A local couple caught the moment a lava bomb came flying at their tour boat in Hawaii on camera.
Plus, a Portland climber beats one incredible world record. You won't believe how many mountains he conquered in less than a month.